All right, listen, today I got a special vlog for you. I got to head out in the morning to Georgia to go check in with Mount Vernon Mills, and then I'm going over to Louisiana, and I'm gone the next 2 months. I'm gone, and I want a home cooked meal. So I'm making Amanda and I fresh pasta. And you're gonna join me if you wanna learn how to make pasta, all right? It's very simple pasta making. Where I learned how to make pasta, I had started 5 or 6 years ago, but then on a trip to Bologna in Italy, we went to a pasta making class. And I really honed my techniques, and making pasta is fun and it's simple. It's flour and eggs, and then how you finish it is up to you. I will say quality ingredients are really what matters. So I use Caputo 00 flour. This comes from Italy. Honestly, you can buy all this stuff on Amazon, and it's well worth it if you want to try this, which I think you should. But Caputo, for some reason, my wife, she can eat the flour in Europe, especially in Italy and France, and she's celiac, and she gets sick on any flour in the U.S. But when I use this, she's fine, and it's freaking really good flour. So it's all about the ingredients. And you know what, let me do this. And I'll show you those ingredients, what I use. So check this out. So I use Caputo. I'm gonna grind up some tagliatelle peppercorn, black pepper in this mortise and pestle. I'm just gonna grind it up in here. So I'm gonna use this. I don't have farm fresh eggs, which I would normally use, but I am gonna use the best salt in the world is this. Malden salt. If you want anything that's great, you would use this. I don't know how much salt I'm going to use because I don't know if I'm going to use Parmigiano Reggiano or a different type of cheese, but I have 2 cheeses that I'm going to use. I could potentially use, this is Parmigiano Reggiano. And this is, I think it's pronounced porcini. I think I'm gonna use porcini cheese. And I make almost like an Alfredo. Now, Alfredo was a dude, okay? That's an actual guy in Italy, Alfredo. And so Alfredo developed this pasta with Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. And so to have Alfredo, you have to use that. Now, people in the United States, they make Alfredo with like cream. That's not how they actually do it in Italy. They just use pasta water and Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. They sprinkle it in slowly with pasta water. And that's how they make true Alfredo, which is ridiculous. But ingredients matter. Let me try to see here if I can talk and work. All right, I'm gonna make 2 servings. Ingredients in business are like food ingredients. The better the ingredients, then the better the results. In the case of food, the better the taste, the flavor, sustenance. It's just better for you. In the case of business, that could be like, this is 200 grams here. Okay, so I'm gonna do 200 grams. It's 100 grams per serving. I'm gonna make a mountain like this. And then we're gonna take 3 fingers. We're just gonna open this up. You always wanna go bigger than you think, even though it's only 2 eggs. You can do this on wood or on granite, like a cutting board or whatever, just like that, okay? And we're gonna crack 2 eggs and put them in there. But ingredients in food, ingredients in business like, let's just use marketing and media and advertising and product. You gotta have quality fiber, right? We use really the best cotton in the world, which is from the United States. You got to have quality spinning. Are you going to do a ring spun, a vortex, open end, right? There's different types of spinning you can do. And then the weaving process or the knitting process. And then there's a finishing process, how you finish the clothing. Is it brushed or sueded like our Moab pants? They're sueded. Like what is that finish like? And then there's the cutting and the sewing of it, right? It's how you're putting these things together to make a garment, right? Whether you're mixing textiles or your sew types, you want flat seams because you want it to feel good against your skin. And so the ingredients are important in marketing and advertising, right? Let me grab these eggs. 2 eggs, so 100 grams, and I use jumbo eggs, okay? Normally you crack it against themselves and then you open it up, just like this. I normally hold it with 2 hands. Egg goes in, back in the dish, another one. There you go, 2 eggs. In marketing and advertising, it would be, you gotta have good, once the product's good, then you gotta bring it to life the right way, right? Through good photography, through good copywriting and messaging, the features and benefits, and then how to bring that all together through a good web experience or a good in-person retail experience, depending on what your platform is, your channel is. And so it's all about ingredients. It's funny because we appreciate ingredients and the way things come together. When we're putting things on our bodies, sometimes we're just like, this feels good, and we don't realize what went into it. And when we're eating food, like, this tastes good, but we don't realize what went into it. And it's all about quality ingredients, okay? And I appreciate quality ingredients in business, in life, in consumption. I'm a foodie. I don't just want to eat the food, I want to know how it was made. That's a blessing and a curse. All right, so I'm gonna get with it. We're gonna mix these up here, right? Again, this is like Pete's cooking show all of a sudden. Good. 100 grams per serving, so this is 200 grams of Caputo flour, okay? And 2 jumbo eggs. The next movement is an S movement, okay? So we're gonna scrape flour, S, and scrape it on the backside, and we're gonna mix it up. And you don't want those walls to break. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna mix this up, okay? Once it starts getting really viscous, the viscosity, there's a word for you. When the viscosity is there, when it's almost like thick, not quite yet. I'm gonna keep using the fork. But when it gets really thick, I'm gonna mix it, I'm gonna fold it into itself, okay? And pasta is really, really simple. We're gonna fold it, fold it, fold it. Get it all in there. All right. Once we've folded it, we're gonna get in there and we're gonna massage it with our hands and really get all of that dough and eggs mixed. All right, I kind of folded it here into itself. You can see it's still, I haven't even really started massaging it yet, or kneading it, I guess you could say. That's what they call it in the industry. You gotta knead it if you need it. So we're gonna do that. You always wanna kinda do it one way. you're like folding it into itself. So my fingers are pulling it back. My palm is gonna push it in, okay? And then it turns a little bit. My fingers pull it back. My palms push it in. This is a little bit dry right now, so. And you always want to go one direction. If I had a bigger, it's easier to do a bigger thing of pasta dough. Making 2 servings is really not the easiest thing to do. So I need to use this hand to manipulate the dough. Pull, push. See, I'm trying to get an angle here. You can see I'm pushing it into itself. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. You don't need to be overly aggressive with it, but you do want it to mix in well, and you want it to trap the air. So I got to do this for like 5 minutes, which I'm not gonna have you watch me do. But I got to do this for 5 minutes, okay? All right, there it is. There should be a spring back here, which there is. The gluten's there. The gluten structure, I needed it for about 10 minutes. That's a real 10 minutes, not a fake 10 minutes. I gotta put it in plastic. Let it sit for 30 minutes. Let the gluten relax, and then I'm not gonna hand roll it, although that is the way to do it without crushing the life out of it. If you hand roll it, you keep all that air that you just put inside there, and you slowly work the air out. If you machine roll it, you crush the air out, and so you crush the life out of the pasta. If you're a purist, a traditionalist. Sometimes a hand roll. Today, I'm gonna machine roll, but I gotta let it sit in plastic, either in the fridge or on the counter, it doesn't really matter, for half an hour. And then we'll roll it out, and we're gonna turn it into tagliatelle. Tagliatelle is about 1/4 inch thick, and I like pasta al dente when we cook it, so a little bit hard. Not snap hard, but just a little bit hard, and then we're gonna be good to go. All right, the pasta dough is resting, so that gluten relaxes. I said porcini earlier. I meant Pecorino Romano. Porcini is a mushroom. You can do like a truffle mushroom, but I'm not gonna use Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm gonna use Pecorino Romano, and that is kind of salty already. It's a really good cheese. Again, ingredients, and I talk about ingredients even with like, let me see here, even with like just the water you're gonna boil it in. So like if you want Michelin star quality, then you want Michelin star quality ingredients. Most of this is, where is that olive oil? Most of this is, oh, there it is. I'm gonna use this extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just gonna like put a slick across the top of the water, right? So my pasta water, I'm just gonna kind of like put a slick of it in. When the pasta goes in, it won't stick all together. It'll just get coated in this extra virgin olive oil, and then I'll season this with salt. But the pecorino is pretty salty, so I don't want it to be overly salty. Make sense? And then I'll boil this, and then fresh pasta cooks in like 90 seconds. It's fast. It cooks so fast. What else did I want to say about it? I don't want you to screw this up if you try. So take your time making the pasta dough. Some people add salt to the pasta dough. I don't. Quality ingredients, and I am going to crush up some black pepper too. You can see I have my pasta dough resting there. I don't have a pepper grinder. Now you don't want to smash this like too much. Like you don't want to go over the top with it. This type of pepper is like ridiculous. Just, you know, you can get this on Amazon. I don't even need that much pepper. That's a lot of pepper. But it's like sweet and spicy. Cherry peppercorns, and I don't want to grind this like into super fine, but I do want to crush them all into kind of a medium-sized pepper flake. So let me make that shit happen. All right, so that took about 5 minutes. It's pretty good. I could go a little finer, but we're gonna start with that. All right, the Pecorino Romano, you can get this also online. I buy a lot of this shit from Amazon. I'm gonna use, gotta have good knives. I'm gonna make like a white sauce, which is like a lot of cheese. So we're gonna start with this, and we're gonna grate it pretty fine, because when I put it into the pasta, I'm gonna boil the pasta. I'm gonna put the pasta in I'm gonna take it from a pot and put it into like a frying pan, almost like a high-sided pan. And then I'm gonna slowly add the cheese and mix it in. And then I'm gonna slowly add some pasta water, and I don't want it to be overly stringy. So this has gotta be fine, pretty finely grated. This is a fine cheese grater. Listen, this is, making food is like anything. It's like freaking jiu-jitsu. It takes a long time to learn. It takes a long time to train. You commit to it. It's like business. Anything great in life takes 10 years. Well, making quality food takes time too. And I don't know, there's something about making something of quality, be it food or clothing or anything else in life. So I'm gonna grate this whole block, and I think that'll be enough for it. Possibly, we'll see. All right, this is where the cheating comes in. Freaking, this is the KitchenAid pasta attachment, which makes things go like really fast and easy. All right, so you can see I'm gonna start on 1. So I've got to cut the dough in half because I want to do 1 serving at a time. So I'm gonna start on 1, and then I'm gonna go to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I may go to 7, but I'll go between 6 and 7, okay? And you just freaking roll it out into sheets. Into sheets, you gotta make sure that there's flour. You wanna let it dry for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're gonna roll it up, and then we're gonna slice it into tagliatelle. I don't know if you can see the little air pockets in between, but normally you wouldn't wanna crush those air pockets out, but we're going to. I've got to put this thing on 1, and I don't have my rolling pin, so I'm just going to kind of flatten it out. Make sure you have a flour, because you don't want it to stick to the roller. And we're gonna crush the life out of it. Listen, I don't recommend this, but if you're doing this and you're gonna feed like freaking a bunch of people, it makes it so much easier. There's 2. You wanna support it as it comes through. If you don't support it, it stretches and gets uneven. You want to make sure you keep it coated with the flour, both sides. So we're on 3. It's technique. It's like jiu-jitsu, you know? It's like jiu-jitsu. It's all about that technique. 4. Straight in, support it. You don't want it to freaking start folding on itself and crumpling. Not a good look. What happens is between 5 and 7, it gets twice as long. So 5, more flour. Whoa, a little too much. All right, we're on 5. Things start getting really tricky after this. I'm gonna cut it in half and then make it a little easier. So you can see I just cut that one in half. 6, straight in. Oh, it's kind of feeding through sideways here. Let's see what 6 looks like. I don't know if I'm going to do 6 or 7. Six is like a little bit thicker. Never go to 8 on this machine. What's up, babe? You want this as a 6 or 7? I'm talking to the camera. She just got back from a massage, her weekend project. Degrease? Okay. Do you want 6 or 7? You know, have a strong opinion? Okay. Go. I'm going to throw one of these on 7 and see what we think. See how it's feeding it in there? Not quite the right way. That's what you got to avoid. All right. 7 it is. Remember, this is just one serving. So it's 100 grams of flour, 1 egg, real pasta, and it's going to swell up in the water to quite the scale. It's going to absorb the water. And then when you add, you know, butter into the pan and pasta water and cheese, and then we're going to add some fresh scallops, wild caught scallops, maybe crab and lobster. So it's gonna be like a seafood tagliatelle, white sauce, white cheese sauce, pasta with the pepper, which is really gonna bring everything to life. All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you how I cut it, and then I'm probably just gonna show you the finished product. All right, this is the deal. Timing is everything. I got scallops cooking. I've got my water almost coming to a boil, and this is what it looks like to cut the pasta. You can see I let it dry out for 10 minutes, and then I want to cut this into 1/4-inch strips. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it, and I usually do this with 2 hands, so bear with me. And then what you do is you just pick them up like this. Try to get 3 at a time here. And you just unroll them. Okay? And there's your tagliatelle. Pick them up, unroll them. We're going to take this, we're going to put it in the pasta water for, let's call it 90 seconds. So we're going to test it. Every 10 or 20 seconds, I'm going to test it after 60 seconds until it's al dente. And then I go from that straight into a pot. It's a 1/4 stick of butter per serving, so a 1/2 stick of butter. Then I'll slowly add in pasta water and the Pecorino Romano cheese and mix it and stir and mix and stir and mix. I can't capture on film because I got to be concentrating. So I'll show you the final product. There it is, 2 servings. Put them in here and just stir just to get the oil mixed in with them. Now they say when it floats, it's done. Amanda really likes it al dente, so we kind of test. I'm gonna go from here. I'm gonna go into this pan. I have bits of scallop in there. I'll deglaze it a little bit with some pasta water. Put the pasta in, then start adding the cheese and then that black pepper, and I just cook some scallops here. Right, good to go. All right, there it is. Pepper on it, scallops, and freaking gonna be delish. So anyways, give it a try.